Hi there, Greg Goodman joining you for a special year-end edition of Southern Gospel Now. Southern Gospel Now is made possible by SouthernGospelPrizes.com, where you can currently register for a Tribute Quartet Prize pack. This week, we're going to look back at some of the bigger stories in Southern Gospel music over this past year. We start with a new home for the Southern Gospel Music Association Hall of Fame and Museum. Here's SGMA President Arthur Rice.
We're so excited to announce the new home of the Southern Gospel Music Association's Hall of Fame and Museum will be right here in Pigeon Forge, Tennessee at Biblical Times Dinner Theater.
The top Southern Gospel song for the year, according to both the Singing News Top 80 and the Singing News Power 50 charts, is Looks Like Jesus by Brian Free and Assurance featuring Jimmy Fortune. Brian Free talks about the song.
The song is a reminder that we need to understand the world's watching us and that they're watching where we go, hearing and listening to what we say, seeing how we respond, seeing how we treat people, and we need to look as much like Jesus as possible.
The Isaacs became the first Southern Gospel group and one of only a handful of family groups to be inducted into the Grand Ole Opry. Ricky Skaggs does the honors.
So folks, put your hands together. We're going to officially make the newest members of the Grand Ole Opry Ben, Sonia, Miss Lily, and sweet Becky over there. The Isaacs are now official members of the Grand Ole Opry. Yes, they are.
Joseph Habedank set a new record on the Singing News chart within 2022.
So Child of the King is actually my fourth number one song as a soloist. I've written 9 number one songs, and I really didn't realize how significant it was until somebody posted on Facebook that I made Southern Gospel history for the most number one songs by a solo artist. And so I didn't really believe it when I saw it, but I just thought there's no way that can be true. So I reached out to Singing News and I said, is this accurate? And they said, yes, it is accurate. And so, man, what an amazing honor. I just want to thank Radio, Daywind Records. I want to congratulate Dave Clark and Don Cook, who are my co-writers on this song, and I'm just so grateful and honored.
There were many changes in Southern Gospel groups. We'll start with Arthur Rice leaving the Kingdom Heirs.
It's been an honor being here. Chris and Dennis, we've been through some stuff. God's been faithful. God's been faithful to us. We've been through some things that we shouldn't be here. We really shouldn't be here. I mean, the world looked at us and said, y'all are done. But you know what? God wasn't done with us. And these boys are going to go on. God's always got a man.
Changes for the Booth brothers with Ronnie Booth and Paul Lancaster both coming off the road, and Jim Brady rejoined the group.
I have just walked on the bus and sat down from my first night back with the Booth brothers. With Michael Booth, it was just like old times, like we were never apart. And we had an absolute blast tonight. It was, of course, my first time to sing in a group with Buddy Mullins. I've known him for years, but it's the first time for me to sing with him. And we did not even rehearse. We came in today to Shipshewana, Indiana. Got here to do a sound check, and then hit the stage at 7 p.m. tonight. And I'm telling you what, it was almost 2 hours of just solid singing.
Daniel Ashmore departed the Old Pass, and the group is expected to announce a new name for their group at some point in the near future. There were a lot of changes for the Kingsmen. Alan Kendall talks about the new lineup of the group.
Ray and Brandon Reese and myself are very excited to be welcoming Drew Laney, Thomas Nally, and Cole Watson to the Kingsmen. Drew began traveling with us back in August as Ray was mentoring him. And Drew would get up and sing a song or two with us each night. And man alive, the fans just fell in love with him. So Ray just decided to hire him because he brought some new life to the group, new blood to the group, but it's given Ray kind of a new life as well, because I think he's just enjoying not only continuing to sing, but he's enjoying just sowing some knowledge into another generation.
Chris Jenkins left the Kingsmen and joined Gold City. At the same time, Bruce Teleferro returned to the group. Bruce comments.
I did, and went into to address some things in my life, and one of those led me into an ICU down in the hospital where I live. Had a small blood clot on the left side of my brain stem. It paralyzed the right side of my body for several days. Was in a stroke protocol there, and but you know the old song says, "To God be the glory, great things He has done," and He has done that in my life, and every now and then he'll stop you and get your attention. And I laid in that hospital bed, Bill, and I told Danny this, and I told my family this. I laid there with nothing but my thoughts with me, and I realized I had more regrets than I had things to be thankful for. And he asked me laying in that bed, he said, "You want to do things my way for a little while?" And I said, "Yes, sir, that sounds good to me." And a few weeks later, my phone goes off, and Danny says, "How you feeling?" I said, "I feel good." He said, "Good enough to get back on this bus and let's go sing and finish what we started." And so that's what we're doing tonight. So God bless you guys, and thank you, Bill.
Praise the Lord.
Joining the Down East boys, Alex Utech. Ricky Carden talks about the addition.
We're so excited to have him on board. Alex is no stranger to gospel music. He sang with the Dixie Echoes, started at the ripe age of 18, sang with them for many years, and then sang with the Diplomats for about 3 years. And he's filled in with Daly and Vincent, sung at the Grand Ole Opry. He's a great singer, a great young man.
The LeFevre Quartet retired from full-time touring in 2022. Mike LeFevre talks about the decision.
Retiring the LeFevre Quartet is probably one of the most difficult decisions that I've ever had to be a part of. I have been a part of gospel music for many, many years and loved it all of my life, and I'll continue to love it till the day I die. This is going to be the first time in over 101 years there hasn't been a LeFevre in gospel music actually singing in some capacity.
The departure of Devin McGlamory from Ernie Haassen's signature sound brought a familiar face and voice back to the group, Doug Anderson.
When Ernie called and said, "Hey, would you be wanting to fill in with Devin?" the first person I call is one of my best friends in the world, Devin McGlamory, and say, "Hey, are you okay with this?" And Devin, in true Devin fashion, said, "Well, yeah, I would rather it be you than anybody else."
Triumphant Quartet was one of the big winners at the 2022 Singing News Fan Awards. David Sutton commented as the group won for Quartet of the Year.
As any other time, this is very humbling. These three guys behind me and myself, if we can make it until Monday of this coming week, we will have made 20 years together as the four guys walking on stage.
The SGMA Hall of Fame class of 2022 was Arthur Rice, Kyler Rowland, Chris White, and Rodney Griffin. Rodney comments on the honor.
Well, I was very honored and surprised to hear this news. I've always thought of the SGMA Hall of Fame as a place for those who paved the way for gospel music. All the Georges and Glens and Rex and Brocks and Ed O'Neill and Squire and Dottie Rambo, all these who just made a difference so the rest of us had a place to sing.
The Guardians joined Daywind Records this past year. Here's Dean Hickman.
We are joining Daywind record label. We have a brand new CD coming out. In this summer, John Darren Rousey wrote most of the songs. The CD is produced by John Darren and Wayne Hahn.
On the relationship front, Nicholas Heath of 3 Heath brothers got married.
Man, marriage, in the 2 months that I've been married, it's been great. But so we released our new album, Into the Deep, on July 15th, and we got married on the 16th. So that's just how the dates worked out. But it's been great. She loves traveling with us, and she helps out at the product table and everything. And it's funny, when we were dating, I told her about us traveling and all that, and she actually knew more about gospel music than I did. She grew up going to gospel concerts and all that, so she fits right in.
Carrie Gooch of Karen Peck in New River just got engaged.
This is a really special Christmas to me because just recently I got engaged to Chandler Balcom. We started dating about a year and a half ago, and on December 16th, he proposed, and we're so excited, and I can't wait to see what the future holds.
That's a look at some of the big stories in Southern Gospel music from 2022. Southern Gospel Now is brought to you by SouthernGospelPrizes.com. If you missed episodes, you can listen wherever you find podcasts or at SouthernGospelNow.com. I'm Greg Goodman. It is my hope and prayer that you have an amazing 2023. Be sure to join me each week for a look at what's going on in Southern Gospel music with Southern Gospel Now.